Now at 6, Del Sur Elementary students being relocated after mold concerns, where they're being moved and when they may return to their usual classrooms.
Plus, the new bill trying to move the Midway Rising project forward. And San Diego County takes aim at ICE and Border Patrol training, why there's concerns about impacts to border wait times.
Thank you so much for joining us here at 6 a.m. on this Wednesday. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Evan Irani. We want to start off the morning with a check of the forecast, one that's been particularly warm over the last several weeks, and this week has been no exception. Warming up to the upper 60s right now, from the 60s to the 70s into the afternoon. We should peak right around the water, close to 80 degrees this afternoon, and well into the 90s for many of our inland valleys. Our eastern valleys in particular should jump well above 90 to about 93 on average. Coming up, we'll get a closer look at the forecast, but in the meantime, let's take a look at some of our top headlines. Students from Del Sur Elementary are being relocated next week after mold concerns on their campus.
Families can get more information here today. News 8's Tori Apodaca live near Del Sur Elementary School with the latest test results. I know a lot of parents in that area are very frustrated by this.
Hi, good morning. That's exactly right. Definitely not the start to the school year that anyone here was expecting. They are, though, going to be relocating those students and staff to Stone Ranch Elementary School in Forest Ranch starting next Monday. They say that most of the areas have been treated, but they are still working on some spots. We've been following this since last week when the rest of Poway Unified went back to school, but Del Sur Elementary did not. Remediation crews came in to identify and treat those infected areas. Many families, though, have been extremely frustrated and say that this is not the first time that the school has had mold issues. In fact, there's even a Facebook page called Fighting the Mold at DSE that's been up for at least 2 years. Multiple parents I have spoken with claim that their children have gotten sick and tested positive for mold during this past school year. It's why many say that they are now planning on taking their kids out of the school altogether. The district, though, says that it is working on finding the source of the mold and long-term corrective measures using architects, HVAC technicians, mechanical engineers, and continuing to use environmental and moisture control equipment. The district says that the areas that tested for mold were all in the moderate level. These are those areas, you can see the different rooms as well as the multi-purpose room in the first floor hallway. In room 126, they found mold in the ceiling tiles. So what's the timeline for getting everyone back to campus? Well, the first day for Del Sur will be this coming Monday, August 24th, again at Stone Ranch. They're expecting them to stay there through September 18th, hoping that they will be returning to the campus here at Del Sur on Monday, September 21st. And happening tonight at the Del Sur High School Performing Arts Center at 6:30, there's going to be a family session, an opportunity for families to come and get more of their questions answered from the district. Reporting live from Del Sur Elementary, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Yeah, not a very old elementary, built in 2008, so a lot of people frustrated there. Thanks for the update, Tori. New this morning, a state lawmaker from San Diego just announced a new bill aiming to move the Midway Rising project forward.
It seeks to transform the sports arena site into a mixed-use development with housing and shopping, but critics are concerned. News 8's Chris Groh is live in studio with the latest. Chris, this has been an ongoing battle now.
Yeah, it surely has. It's been a series of twists and turns with Midway Rising, and this is just the latest attempt to try to avoid even future twists and turns and to get the project going, but potentially shield it from future delays. Originally unrelated to the project, SB 344 was instead a bill on the handling of human remains, but is now being amended by State Senator Akilah Weber Pearson to shield Midway Rising from future CEQA lawsuits. Those environmental lawsuits are often used by critics of developments to stall or kill projects. However, if passed, SB 344 would then kick in after and sort of insulate the review from future legal challenges. Now, a city environmental impact review still does need to happen for this project to go forward. And to show that this is a real race against the clock, an urgency clause has been approved for SB 344. That means it needs a 2/3 majority approval in the Assembly and Senate instead of a simple majority. But in return, if passed and signed into law, it would take effect immediately, not in January. Critics of Midway Rising have pointed to the impact of the height of some buildings and density concerns. There's also concerns for long-term flooding risks from rising groundwater. According to Weber Pearson in a statement on SB 344, she says it will provide a path for Midway Rising to move forward once the city of San Diego certifies its EIR. This project can bring much needed affordable housing and permanent jobs, along with new businesses, community spaces, and economic opportunity. She believes now is the time to turn years of planning into progress and bring a new chapter of the Midway District to life. Now, Midway Rising still has several hoops to jump through, even if this is passed and signed. Amongst them, the City Council still has to approve the project. Back to you.
New video this morning showing the USS George Washington heading to the Middle East. The ship is being sent to relieve the San Diego-based USS Abraham Lincoln. That craft has been on an extended deployment. Relatives and lawmakers have raised concerns about the mental health of the crew members on the ship. Officials say the Lincoln will be returning soon. New this morning, authorities in Tijuana are investigating after 5 bodies were found in different cars. This is according to our media partner Televisa. The bodies were found Monday and yesterday somewhere in areas near the Caliente racetrack. At least one car had a California license plate. Authorities haven't announced if there is a connection between the cases. Today, a woman accused of embezzling about $96,000 from the Imperial Beach Little League will make her first court appearance. Roche Cuevas was the league's treasurer. The sheriff's office says back in February, the league's president provided evidence that Cuevas made multiple unauthorized transactions using her IB Little League debit card. She will be arraigned this afternoon.
Right now, a Padres minor league staffer is in ICE custody. Oswaldo Pirela has worked for the Padres since 2024 as a catching coordinator. His family says ICE detained him at the El Paso airport last week as he tried to fly home. The family says Pirela applied for asylum and is going through the EB-2 visa process, but did not have his work permit with him. Homeland Security says Pirela's permission to stay in the U.S. expired in 2018. San Diego County is set to block ICE and Border Patrol from using county facilities for firearms training. The measure passed 3-2 yesterday, with Supervisors Joel Anderson and Jim Desmond voting no. After the vote, Sheriff Kelly Martinez said she's cutting off ICE from sheriff training facilities, but will allow Customs and Border Protection to use the Otay range. The sheriff says that's because CBP officers must complete this training to return to their duties, or we could see longer border wait times. Dozens of speakers were also split on the move.
Literally begging you not to play a part in increasing wait times at our ports of entry. These hardworking individuals are already waiting 2 to 4 hours every single day because they cannot afford a home or rent a house in San Diego County.
And for the last 2 years, this administration's chaotic approach to immigration enforcement has been fundamentally about sowing chaos and fear, disrupting our communities. It disrupts the ability of anyone to do business and reliable work within the county of San Diego and a binational region.
The agreement will end 10 days after the federal government is officially notified.
We are hearing from city officials as San Diego prepares for a wetter than usual year. Officials say a strong El Nino could bring more heavy rain and atmospheric rivers to the region as early as this fall. The city says people should check for clogged drains and report potholes through the Get It Done app. Also check to see if you're in a flood-prone area. The city says there are trouble spots all over San Diego.
High-risk floodplain zones exist throughout the city. You think about places like Chollas Creek, of course, but also places like Sorrento Valley, Mission Valley, portions of the Mission Bay area. A lot of the areas are actually in federally mapped flood zones, high-risk zones.
Officials also recommend having an evacuation plan and emergency kit ready. You can watch our series on El Nino and its impact with the CBS 8 app. Download on your TV and watch for free. We certainly could use a little moisture out there. It's been a while, Evan.
Been quite a while, and none is in sight, it seems. Staying dry across the county. It's 6:09 right now. The most moisture we've seen has been humidity. That's been the tropical moisture, subtropical moisture that we've been picking up on at times. It's led to some cloud development, and at times, for a couple days over the last few months, has even brought a few showers, mainly off toward the mountains. But they haven't been too fruitful for us, not enough to help alleviate our lack of rain over the last many months and our water year concerns. Today's forecast, upper 70s out by the coast, about low to mid 90s toward our eastern valleys, but many of our western valleys should easily just make it into the 80s. Here are your current temperatures out the door. Palm Springs is at 85 degrees. LA at 68. Notice as you make your way up the California coast, we've got those more mild temperatures in the upper 50s, for example, in Monterey and San Francisco, even San Luis Obispo at 59 degrees. Here's a live look outside. This is from Mount San Miguel. Plenty of clouds that we're looking at, but hey, I mean, sunrise is still another 5 minutes out. You might remember just a few months ago when we were talking about the summer sun and how quick we were to see the sun rise. You know, in the 6 o'clock hour, we had already seen it come up. Now we're losing day length as we inch toward the fall season. That means later sunrises, earlier sunsets. Live look at satellite radar here shows that clouds have bunched up along the coast and inland. Means it's going to be a gray start to the morning for many of us. Santee and El Cajon looking at a high today of 92 degrees. That is just a hair above where we typically would be. 87 in Mira Mesa, 81 in downtown San Diego. Imperial Beach going for 77, and in San Ysidro, 83. Up in North County, pretty similar trend along the coast. Upper 70s, low 80s along the water. As you move inland, upper 80s and low 90s. In Julian, 91 today. Mount Laguna, 87. 111 in Ocotillo Wells. And while we have some minor day-to-day fluctuations, looks like today will be one of the warmer days. We'll cool down for Thursday and then just warm right back up. Across the board, it seems we'll be trending above average most afternoons ahead. Let's check in on traffic. It's 6:11 right outside. Have not been slowing down on the 805 northbound, the 94 westbound, or the 5 southbound quite yet. So we're at pretty smooth speeds for all three of those. This is, however, the time where we will start to see that morning commute pick up. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going on your drive times out there. Let's check in on border wait times this morning, where it is a 95-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. It should take you about an hour and a half, maybe slightly longer, to get across the San Ysidro Port of Entry. The Otay Mesa Port of Entry should run you just about an hour flat. Still looking like the Otay Mesa Port of Entry might be the better call this morning, getting you across a little bit faster. Eric.